Good, awesome. Well, then let's go ahead and begin. Let's go ahead and begin practice. Let's find our seat. Get settled in. Wiggle as much as you need to relax. Give yourself maybe a little bit of fabric underneath the legs to help the legs really let go and relax down. Rest your hands on your knees or on your laps, and then roll your shoulders back. Rest them down. Close your eyes when you're ready, and we'll begin to soften the skin, relax the facial expression, and start taking note of your body, of your muscles, and how they feel this morning. Every day is a new feeling, every day is a new sensation, every day is a new message. With your eyes closed, the intent is to draw the attention inward and keep it in, observing as many aspects as you can about you. Feel your physical body, notice the muscles. Some muscles may have more activity and sensations to them. See which ones are a little bit more relaxed and which ones are a little more active. Scan the body from the bottom up and start observing yourself physically. Notice where your body is in space and what your torso does. Sometimes the torso likes to play and swing to the side or lean forward or back. Check in. Where are you in space? Where's your body? Then relax your core. Soften the jaw. Even the tongue against the palate. Soften that a little bit. Don't let the pressure be too strong. And I invite you to draw awareness into that space in between your eyebrows, that third eye center. And notice how you start softening upstream into the forehead, and all the muscles around the eyes start relaxing. The way your body has sensations, think of them as communication. If it's calling your attention, it probably wants your attention. And today in our practice, as we move and we expand through our range of motion, you might find some icky spots, some places where you change the rhythm of your breath. And I want you to take note of that. As we're moving, I don't want you to judge your body or your movement in any way, but I want you to take note of those spaces that are calling for a little bit of just your awareness with the breath. Let's go ahead and check in with the breath. Relax. Feel the airflow coming in and feel it as you let it go, as you exhale. Notice the effort of breathing today. Is it easy? Is your breath long and full? Does it feel like effort? Does it feel short? Does it feel in the chest area? It's really important that you check in. And checking in with the breath is checking in with your mental state and with your emotional state. Give yourself a moment to even hear your own breathing. I'll go silent. And to begin our practice, we're going to begin with a breathing practice. We're going to begin with breaths of fire. Remember that the emphasis is on the exhalation. They're forced exhales. You contract your abdomen, draw that navel in and up, and force the exhale through the nose. We'll do about 3 rounds and we'll take breaks in between. Let's go ahead and begin. The core needs to be relaxed because it'll start creating a pumping sensation as we force the exhales. And the face has a tendency to also change. So try to keep that expression relaxed and your shoulders down. Take a breath in and let it go. Exhale fully. Take a full breath in next. Inhale through the nose and fill up. Fill up with breath. Let it all go. Exhale fully. Exhale completely. Shoulders down, face relaxed. First round, inhale about halfway, and then force your exhales. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Sharp exhales, sharp exhales. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a rest, breathe in. Exhale, let it go. Again, shoulders down and face relaxed. Inhale, it doesn't have to be a full breath in. Sharp exhales. Pump your abdomen, forcing those exhales. Face relaxed throughout for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a rest, breathe in. Breathe out, let it go. Final round. Inhale, about halfway. Force your exhales, sharp exhales. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Back to your normal breathing. Breathe out. Body relax. For now, keep your eyes closed and let the breath come back to normal. That breathing practice is to help get our body going for the practice on the mat, but also the practice off the mat. If you are here, you're giving yourself love and attention in this moment and in this space. And I invite you to now create an intention, a clear, specific intention for your practice on or off the mat. Or dedicate your practice to someone or something. Maybe it's someone you have in mind or something. Place your right hand by your heart. Place the left hand by your abdomen. And may this yoga practice strengthen and heal your body and your mind. Rest your hands, looking down, slowly open your eyes. And then lift your gaze as you let the light come back in. Wiggle out of your seat, come out of your seat and step into position 1. Right in front of your sling and grab the highest handles. Let's go ahead and begin taking an active grip and a passive hang. Bend your knees until your arms are straight, and then set your feet flat on the floor and disengage your core. Don't try to pull up on your shoulders. We're hanging as passively as we can. I invite you to notice the breath. Relax the body and notice your breathing. On the next inhale, pull yourself back up, bend your elbows and step in. Shake it out, shake it out. Move your hands, move your wrists, sprinkle invisible glitter, and walk around your sling next. Let's walk around. So we are gonna come into position 2, an arm's length away from the sling. Grab the middle handles and center them if they're not already in the middle. Let's start with an overhand grip and your feet hip width apart, no churn out. Outer edges of your feet parallel. Soften your knees. And from the hips, fold forward halfway. Fold forward, where your torso is towards parallel to the floor, and then very generously bend your knees. We want the hamstrings and all of the back body to start opening. We're gonna engage a little bit of movement, bending one knee and then the other. Like a static walk. When you're ready, start lifting heels. Pedal through the feet as well. Back to center. Round your way slowly upright and take a parallel grip next. Parallel grip and soften the knees once more. We're going to take the hips back and we're going to sit down. A 90-degree squat is what we're aiming for. 90-degree in the elbows, hips, and knees. Hug the midline for strength with your inner thighs and with your arms. Draw that navel in and look straight ahead. Let's hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As you inhale, pull yourself up. Extend your arms out. Take a rest as you fold forward for a breath or two. Remember to keep your knees a little soft, or as much as you find comfort in stretching out those hamstrings and low back. Reach out through your right hand, get long in your side body, and then reach out through your left hand and get long and breathe into that side body. We're going to neutralize, come back to center, and do a couple of cat-cows. Take a breath in. Exhale, contract your abdomen, round your spine from that point of contraction. You tuck your tailbone in and you push down with your hands. Maybe look at your navel, and then back to neutral. Tilt the hip first, coming into cow. Belly releases to the floor, tailbone out. Maybe look ahead. Let's do a couple more. I want you to do them slow, with intent, with control, where you know you're starting the movement at the hip and then letting the rest of the spine cascade and open. The front body and the back body. We'll do one more of each. One more cat, one more cow. Make your way back to center. When you're there, we're going to move the spine. Now, tilting the hips left and right. We're going to move that spine laterally. We did forward and back, and now we're going to do side to side. If it's comfortable for you, reach out through the arms to the same side that you're taking the hip. Back to center, we'll meet, and then we'll round our way back up to stand. Take a parallel grip again, and let's take that 90-degree squat again. 90 degrees, knees, hips, and elbows, and go ahead and look at your knees and keep sure that they stay over your ankles. We're gonna move a little bit more dynamically. You're gonna keep your handles nice and taut, like guitar strings. As you inhale, pull yourself up. Take your shoulders back, lift your heart up. Exhale, sit back and down with your hips. Let's do that again. Inhale, pull up. Exhale, sit back, sit down. Breathe in, pull up. Exhale, sit down. Let's do a couple more. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale, stay and hold. Hug the midline. Hug that midline and breathe. You can hold the pose, but not the breath. Hold it for 5, 4, 3. Soften your face. 2, 1. Pull yourself up. Extend your arms out, and we're going to stay standing. Shoulders down. Open your right arm out to the right and follow your hand back with your gaze. Come back with control. Open to the left. Follow that hand back. Reach back, reach up, lift your heart up. Then return. Let's do a couple more. Open to the right. And now we want to make sure that the glutes and the lower abdomen do have some engagement as they brace the low back. Come back. We're moving with the shoulders And remember that any lack of mobility that the shoulders may have, the low back wants to compensate for that. Let's do one more. Reach back and up, lift your chest a little, come back. Last side. Return to center and step your feet together. Okay, we're gonna isolate one leg. That means it's gonna challenge the body. Take a parallel grip with your handles. And with feet together, if that feels comfortable, or give yourself space for the sake of the low back, sit back and down again. Embrace that midline for strength and shift your weight towards your right foot and leg. Extend your left leg towards parallel to the floor. As you inhale, pull yourself up again, shoulders back, chest forward, exhale, sit back and down. Look at that right knee. Make sure it's over the ankle. Pull up. Gaze at it as you sit down, as you take your hips back. Inhale. Exhale. Sit down. Let's do two more. Inhale. Exhale. Inner thighs unite. One more. Pull yourself up. Exhale, sit down. Hold it. Squeeze legs together. Breathe. Step it down. Inhale, pull up. Stretch your arms out. Take a rest for a moment or two. Pistol squats are naturally challenging. Give yourself credit and give the trapeze credit too, because these handles are a lifesaver. Come back up. Let's do the other side. Take a parallel grip. Sit back and sit down into your 90-degree squat. Navel in, we hug the midline. Steady and firm on your left foot. Extend your right leg. Keep it nice and firm. And as you inhale, pull up. Exhale, sit back, sit down. Keep those handles taut. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bend your elbows, pull yourself up. Exhale, stretch your arms and sit back and down. Two more. Inhale. Let it go. Sit back down. One more. Inhale. Exhale, sit back and down. Let's squeeze those inner thighs together and breathe. Step it down. Pull up. Take a rest. Good job. Very nice. Ooh. We are going to come back to our seat, and we're going to find our seat next. Take your block clips up, open the fabric. You want to make sure you have ample room, ample space to find your seat. Butterfly your hands behind your bum and grab the edge of the fabric. Elbows in the fabric, wing them out, press the fabric down. One hip at a time, find your seat. Once you're in your seat, let's start narrowing the seat. Take your black clips on the main sling down on each side. That's step one. That narrows the sling halfway. Step two, bicycle your legs. Bicycle your legs, shimmy, wiggle. Let's get that fabric to only cover our bum, only cover our hip bump. Bring in any excess fabric from behind you close by, and when you're ready, grab your long straps. Open your arms wide, lean back, open legs to V legs, and look at your toes. Double strap your feet on the main sling only. Adjust the fabric if you need to. And if it's comfortable for you, let go of your handles and maybe grab your opposite elbows. Or thread your arms through the long straps. Anything that you find effortless and comfortable. Bend your knees as much as you need. In this first inversion, I want you to listen to the breath. Notice the breath and the body, the relationship amongst them. And maybe follow the breath up and down your spine, curious of where it's releasing tension. I'll go silent as you listen in. Release your hands to the floor. Give yourself plenty of space so that you can turn your head to the right and turn your head to the left slowly. You feel the sides of the neck as you move. Back to center. Look at the floor and feel that front of the neck stretching. Exhale, take the chin towards the chest. Feel the back of the neck. We'll do it again. Let's get ready to return. Make sure your long straps are in front of your legs. Engage your core and look up towards your feet. Walk up towards your feet. Open legs back to V legs. Look at your toes and pull up to seated. Embrace your sling. Wrap your arms around and rest your head down. Give yourself a moment to relax. You let us know when you're ready. There's no rush, but you let us know by looking up and coming out of the seat. Step out of your seat into position 1. Bring your arms out and grab your highest handles again. Grab your high handles. We're going to do a little warm up here, making a circle with our hips. Bend the knees again until arms are straight. Lean back through the legs and straighten your legs. Lift your hips up a little and wrap your shoulders back. Take an active grip. From here, we're going to bend to the right knee and swing our way over to the right, taking that hip out to the right as far as we can. Find your stretch. And we're going to soften the knees a little bit more as we take the hips forward, opening the front body. Bend your knees and press your feet back or walk them back. And then we'll move to the left. Bend that left knee. Swing to the left, to the left, to the left. You can stay on your tiptoes or not, but take that hip out to the left. Feel your heels. We're going to make our way back, all the way back. Pull yourself up and shake it out. Shake it out. Let's do it again. Grab your highest handles. Bend your knees. Lean back, extend through your legs. Lift your hips up a little. Take an active grip. Bend the left knee this time. Let's shift to the left. Shift to the left. Keep going. Forward with your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to help those shoulders out. And we breathe. And we move to the right. Bending the right knee. Swing over to the right, to the right. Notice the breath. We'll make our way back all the way and pull up. Shake it out. Shake it out again. Move your fingers, move your wrist. Beautiful. Let's come on hands and knees next. Come onto hands and knees like a baby crawling. You're gonna crawl one step forward. Steady on your left, reach back with your right foot and hook your ankle on the main sling only. Your right ankle on the main sling. Walk back, and we're gonna walk back where our hips are in position 1, more or less. You're there, okay. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Take an active grip. Flex your right foot, and if your left toes are tucked in or top of foot on the floor, squeeze that back ankle in. Keep that left leg engaged. Now draw that navel in, lower that right hip as much as you can and push down with your hands. You can gaze somewhere in front of you, but not too in front where you're hyperextending the neck. We want long spine, steady breathing. And you start to press very firmly with your hands. with your knuckles, pushing down, activating those muscles of the hand into the floor. Notice the breathing and relax, soften. Okay, your hands are gonna push forward. Your body's gonna shift back and you come into a deep flexion on the left hip and leg and you extend through the right leg. You can stay on your hands or come down on your forearms if that's available and comfortable. As we open through the hip, flexion and extension are the most functional movements of your hip. We're just going in a little bit deeper. Make sure the breath is steady, calm, and controlled. Let's prop back up on hands, under shoulders, fingers spread wide. You want that most active grip available to you. You're gonna tuck your left toes under this time, and we're gonna engage the core. Now push down so hard now that you feel those shoulder blades coming apart from each other. Slide your left foot back. Keep your inner thigh squeezing in towards the midline and come into a three-legged plank. You can stay here, push down. Breathe and notice the breath gets deeper, the body gets warmer. You can stay here or we're gonna lift the left leg and bring it parallel to the right, maybe. We tap down. Bring it back up again. Push so hard that you lift your leg a little, lift your hips a little, lower down. One more. See if you can lift and hold it for a breath. Ground those knuckles. Then lower your left leg, your left knee. And let's shift back again. Back with the hips, lower down on forearms. Let's stay for 2 breaths. Very nice. Let's return slowly on hands and knee. Bend the right knee. Point your foot to let it go. Give yourself just a moment in a child's pose to level out the hips. Knees together or apart. I would suggest 2 hands with palms facing up so that you're not gripping. Give your hands a rest for a moment. Without much delay, let's get to the other side. Come back to hands and knees. Crawl a little forward, steady on your right. Reach your left foot back and strap the left ankle on the main sling only. Walk back to position 1 where your hips are more or less in line with the setup and get your hands under your shoulders, fingers spread wide. Flex your left foot, kick it back, lower that left hip. Navel is magnetized to your spine and you're pushing the floor away from you. You're pressing down on your fingertips, and if you gaze at them, maybe they turn a little bit white at the top. That means they're engaging. Keep that and ground your knuckles as well. Specifically your index knuckle and your thumb pad. Hug into the midline and breathe. Relax and smile. Push your hands forward, shift your body back. Come into a deep flexion through the right hip and leg and extending deeply through the left leg. Find the degree of openness that works for you, that works for the breath. Nothing is about what you look like, it's all about what you feel. Let's return back to hands, Tuck your right toes underneath. Engage your core and slide your right foot back. Three-legged plank. Push those hands down. You push so hard that maybe your upper back rounds a little bit. Notice the breathing. Okay, let's lift the right leg. Pressing through the left leg into the sling. Lift the right leg and lower. Do it again. Lift, push those hands down. Lift your hips up a little and lower. One more, maybe hold it. Breathe. As you hold, you breathe. Knuckles grounded, fingertips pressing. Lower your leg, lower your knee. Take a rest, shift back. One more time. Hips in flexion and extension. Let's come back and out of the pose, bend the left knee into a child's pose. We meet. Palms facing up, no gripping, no more gripping. Rest your head down. Round your way slowly up to seated on your heels and using your prop, maybe use it to help you stand up. Let's find your seat again. Take your black glutes up. Open the fabric. You want plenty of room to find your seat. I want you to find your seat. Open, prepare, and then butterfly your hands behind you. Grab the edge of the fabric. Find your seat. Wonderful. Now that you're in your seat, take your black clips down. We're going to prepare the sling to go upside down again. Bicycle your legs. Shimmy, wiggle, and bring in that fabric from behind you closer to your low back. Grab your long straps. Outstretch your arms. And then when you're ready, lean back, open legs. You can have feet together or strap your feet on the main sling only. Take your hands to the floor. Look at the floor and walk forward. Let's come into Banana Man. Walk your hands forward until you can't anymore, then separate your hands slightly wider than your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide, just the way you had them grounding in our last practice. Drop the head in between the arms and let your chest go down and back. We're in a passive back bend, inverting, but the aim is still to kind of go into that back bend, opening the thoracic spine, the heart center. Nice, steady breathing. Stay in the pose. And like downward facing dog, I want you to give your underarms the sensation like they're looking at each other. We're gonna, like they're not winged apart, but they're bracing the midline. Like they're looking at each other, that sensation. We want the shoulders to start outer rotating. I like your variation, Madeline. Let's apply it. Let's try it. Let's extend the legs out too. The legs are extended over. Unwrap one leg, stretch it out. Unwrap the other like a big giant star. And slowly, when you're ready, let's return. Grab your long straps, bring them in front of your legs. Engage your core and look up towards your feet. Walk up towards your feet. Unhook your feet and open back to relays. Pull yourself up to seated and take a moment to rest and recenter. We are going to do a couple of inversions today, so let us know when you're ready. But for now, we're going to stay in our seat and we're going to use these middle handles. Grab them from the outside aspect and take an overhand grip or spread fingers grip, whatever is good for today. Legs together, knees together, heels together. Let's stand up nice and tall. Curve that low back in. Draw the navel in closer to the spine. Shoulders roll back, rest them down. Now, as we inhale, we lengthen the torso. We're gonna exhale, lean back. And you're gonna keep that long spine and the knees are gonna follow you back and they're gonna lift about belly button level. You can stay here and bring your arms out forward or keep them out. And or you can bring your shins also towards parallel to the floor or for the full expression of both toes. Maybe you'd like to extend your legs. In all cases, keep pressing down through your handles to help you prop up, to help you keep your torso a little bit more lifted. Embrace the shake. Embrace the shake and breathe. Pull up to sit. Good job, we did it. Core is done. Breathe it out. And then next, step out of your seat. Okay, we are gonna lower the sling now. And I invite you to lower it one setting first and just the main sling. One setting down. And remember that the sling stays inside of your setup. The handles stay to the outside, the sling on the inside. Now the aim here, we're gonna give it a test. You're gonna open your seat again, open the fabric, because you wanna find your seat. Remember that you're lower, so our aim is gonna be to get our forearms on the floor, and I'll show you here. Yes, my forearms are on the floor, from elbow to wrist. Now check in, and you give me a thumbs up if you're there. Good job, Kevin, you're there. Are your elbows on the floor? Let's see. Yes, okay. And then just hang for a moment. Actually, it feels really good to me when my forearms are on the floor because the arms still feel like a little effortless. I like that, Kevin. Okay, good. Now enjoy that sensation for a couple of breaths. And then I'll invite you to do the same as we did before, where those underarms were bracing the midline. And maybe you visualize yourself like in a pincha or a forearm stand. And you play with that balance. Just stay on your forearms for a couple more breaths. Feel out the shoulders. Notice your low back also. Now, if you feel comfortable staying upside down, you can stay upside down, or we can take a rest and come back up. I'll show you what we're gonna do next with forearms on the floor. Okay. With your forearms on the floor, bring your hands together. Palms together. Well, maybe thumbs can have a little bit of separation if your shoulders are asking for that, but bring palms to the floor. Palms to the floor and closer together. Okay, from here, we're gonna keep those fingertips gripping, open and active, and you're looking back. You're gonna press your hands
down and forward and stretch through the arms and take your chest back. Your head stays in line with your arms. Then you bend at the elbow, come back. And then push those hands forward and take your chest back. The aim is to open that front body, but also extend through the axial region of the body. I'll come and help you. Be gentle with the breath as you move. You're going to push your hands out, but then you let me know how your neck feels. And your chest is going to come this way. So you're going to kind of extend your arms like, yes. Be nice on the shoulders though. And then return and do a couple more, but be nice and gentle. Very, very nice. Now, Madeline, let me see as you extend your arms, you push your hands forward and you start stretching through the arms, but your chest goes in the opposite direction of your hands. Awesome. Awesome. Let's do one more for the shoulders. And then take a rest. Let's make our way back to seated. Bring your straps around in front of your legs. Engage your core, look up towards your feet. Walk up towards your feet. Walk up through those straps. Unhook your feet. Open legs, pull up to seated, and give yourself a rest. How are we doing with the inversions? How do you feel? Feel good, Madeline? Okay, Kevin. Let's step out of the seat and bring the fabric back where it was. Let's bring it back on our normal height. Bunch up or open the sling. We're coming into pigeon next, and I do want you to find your ideal opening or closing of the sling. And what I mean by that, you're going to step your right foot in the fabric first, and your right hand stays holding the fabric. The left hand comes in and grabs your ankle. Now you slide your foot to the left, and you keep fabric wrapped over your knee. If your fabric is open, it kind of looks like this. And this is great. This is good. If you feel like I could go in a little deeper, bunch up the fabric a little bit more. But notice that there's, again, no way that we should look. It's all about what we feel. Find your balance. Walk your hands up to the highest handles. Ground through your left foot, roll your shoulders back and lift and lengthen. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, shift a little bit forward and maybe a little bit down with your hips. Or maybe you just stay here. Feel it out. And then breathe it out. Your foot is flexed and active, your knee is tight and closed, and your breath flows. If the breath does pause, maybe there's an icky feeling somewhere in the hips. Become aware. Conscious of that space. Send your breath there.
And then come back. Breathe in, breathe out. We're gonna come back into the same pose, and this time we're gonna add a little bit of a back bend, but you don't have to, okay? We're gonna inhale and lengthen. Exhale, shift a little forward. And now, if you wanna keep your foot on the floor or your heel up, that's up to you, but in all cases, that left leg is toned. Tighten your thigh, close your kneecap, and even engage that left glute. We're gonna look up and maybe separate the chest from the sling a little and lift the gaze. Lift the heart center. Keep your right hand holding the fabric, the handle, and reach your left hand up. Lengthen, reach up. As you exhale, reach back. And then come back and do it on the right hand. Reach your right hand up. Reach to lengthen. Now your glutes and core are engaged. As you exhale next, reach back. Back bend a little. Inhale, rise and return. Grab the handle. Come back to center. Hands on the main sling. Step your foot down. Your knee rises. Extend your leg and change the fabric to your ankle, or from your ankle to your knee. Maybe hop back to find your balance if you need to, and to help square the hips. That means right hip back, left hip forward. Flex your right foot, and as you walk your hands back up to the highest handles, this time palms face down or forward, fingers spread, lengthen, fold into your right leg. Bend your knee as much as you need. Let those hamstrings breathe and stretch. Look a little down. The back of the neck should be long. Wait for the inhale and come back upright. Hands on the main sling. We could do a flying switch and or release your right foot and get your left foot on the sling only. Step your foot on this sling. Fabric open or bunched up. Just do know that each side of your hips could be completely different. Left hand holds the fabric. Right hand comes in, grabs your ankle, and you slide your ankle to the right. Think of heel to right hip, fabric over the knee. Find your balance. Keep your foot flexed. Close that knee. Walk your hands up to the highest handles. Okay. Take a breath in, grow tall, grow long. Exhale, shift a little forward. Take those hips forward. Let's come back to center. Cleanse it in and out. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, re-lengthen. Exhale, come back into that pigeon. Now that the breath is a little bit more familiar with the pose, start engaging your right leg a little bit more. Tone the thigh, tighten that kneecap, and engage your right glute. Tone your low belly. And as you inhale, lift your gaze and lift your chest. Take your chest back a little and lift it a little more. Steady in the breath. Right hand reaches up. Lengthen, actively reaching. Bring it back. Left hand, reach it up. Grab a little more length. Make a little more space and breathe. Inhale, return to center. Hands on the sides of your sling. You're gonna press your foot down, knee rises, extend the leg, change the fabric to your ankle. Baby hop back to help level the hips. Grab your highest handles, flex your left foot. Now, although you're pushing forward with that left heel, pull that left hip back, neutralize the hips. Lengthen and fold into your left leg. Soften the expression. Give yourself a smile. You so deserve it. Come back up with an inhale. Hands on the sling to help you. Press it down and lift your leg up and back. Okay, favorite pose coming up. Post of repose. Take your black clips up. Open the fabric. How does the feel hip for you, Kevin? So we did flexion and then we opened the hip a little. Was it like the hip crease right here? Mm-hmm. Okay, prep your middle handles. Slide them to the side and open the handle fabric. Do it on both. Then find your seat a little bit closer towards the edge because this time we do want fabric behind us and we want a lot of fabric behind us, enough to cover our head. Once that is checked, lean back. Look for those middle handles and strap your ankle and your heel for support. Support your head and your arms can be crossed over your chest or thrown overhead. Recheck in with yourself physically and emotionally. Take a breath in and let it go. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do one more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax. Soften. Come back to your normal breathing. Join your palms together, and if you like, bring them by your heart center and lift your heart center towards your palms. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you today in practice and letting me be in your practice. The light in me sees and honors and respects the light that lives and shines within you. Namaste. Thank you. Happy weekend. Thank you, Madeline.